let's get right into this. A very important quote by Mark Twain. The two most important days of your life, the day you were born and the day you figure out why. What we're going to do today is talk about the why and spend our time together diving deeper into it, because I can't think of a more important question of why are you really here. So we have bigger, more important things, and we have choices in our life of what we want to do. So to level set, defining purpose. So it's really an aspirational reason for being that is grounded in humanity and inspires, and here's the most important part, a call to action. Here's the thing, sometimes it's the smallest action that can have the biggest effect. There is a lot of health and well-being benefits to thinking about this work and getting clear on it. And you can see on the page here, from life satisfaction to hope, increases resiliency. It actually keeps you healthier. It has your life last longer. So I'm not sure which one of those you want to hook onto, but pick one. And on the flip side, here's what it decreases, is it really looks at how you actually decrease depression. Looking at how it is for Alzheimer's. There's a number of disabilities that people have, and if they had more clarity about their own purpose, imagine what could be possible. One of the things that I loved was a card that a friend of mine sent. And the card had this beautiful child's picture in the front. And the card says, you can see here, there's a dance that only you know how to do. What that means to me is you are special, you are unique, and there is something you have been put on this earth to do. The question is, do you know what it is? And do you know how to access it? What I want to share is that I think there is a joy in all of us. Can you picture here this child running down and hear the music that she's hearing? Can you think back to a time when you had the opportunity to feel like this? Take note of that time. When was it that you felt that kind of joy? This is the beginning of thinking about powerful purpose questions. Is taking note of those times in our lives that had real meaning, had great energy and flow. Is really thinking about, when do the hours fly by? I don't know about you, when I'm at the beach, the hours fly by. But there's other times as well that the hours fly by. When I'm doing things that I love to do, and I use again this book as an example. I would stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning working on this book, working on the illustrations, editing, figuring out what needs to be in what place. Now, if you know me well enough, my kids would walk into my bedroom at 1 or 11 or 12 and say, what are you doing up? Because they know I'm the one who wants to be in bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. This is what happens when you start getting plugged into your purpose. You start putting energy into it in places and times that may surprise you, maybe a little different than what you expect. So think about going back in your life and thinking about, where have you lost track of time? Where is it that you lose the hours and feel like you're able to produce something? A professor at Boston University shared that with regard to when time flies by, she teaches a mindfulness class in sports psychology. And she uses a book called Flow by Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi. And it's all about when an athlete gets into, and her work is about athletes, gets into a state that they can see the future, they can see how they want things to happen. This is your time to start thinking about how you want things to happen. Where is it? And noticing where you are just in this flow. So I love this picture. This is one of my favorite. I've got 2 favorite pictures in this book. These guys are called, we've renamed them from star people to purpose partners. And the reason why I talk about purpose partners is that this is not a solo sport or one for a faint of heart. Going after your purpose takes courage, takes time, and a willingness to explore places that you may never have explored before, and to hang out in a place that might be a little uncomfortable. But the fun part is that if you do it with others, it creates great joy. And here's the piece. I have found that we cannot figure out our purpose on our own. We need others. And here's what we've figured out also, is there's some really good questions to ask people. But before we can ask them, we have to really ask them the right question. And I'm going to ask you to turn to a partner in a moment. And in turning to this partner, I want you to ask them the question, what is one small thing you can do today that could help you advance your purpose or access it? Just something, one small thing. Because it's in that action that you can take where you are really going to be able to propel yourself. So pick a partner. You're each going to get 1 minute. And all I want is for when the partner decides, whoever goes first, the next person, you just listen to that person and encourage them. You don't have to give them any feedback, but just listen. I will have to tell you, when I was writing this book, I used what I called the headlight strategy, and I highly recommend it. The headlight strategy is a strategy where if you were driving, for instance, from Boston to Seattle, and you're at nighttime, and your headlights will glow 50, maybe 50 yards ahead of you. That's all you can see, but you know you want to get to Seattle. I use the headlight strategy all the time because I can't figure out every single step. I can just figure out what's right in front of me and what I can see with my headlight. And this is the invitation for you, is make this a joyful process where you just look just the headlight distance ahead and see what emerges. And from there, allow yourself to then make the next small step and see what emerges. There's no one right way. The experts have not figured this out, but you do know what to do. You've just talked about it. And this is an important part of your life. You are the CEOs of your life. How are you going to lead it?